There's one huge pitfall that I need you to avoid when you're trying to heal from a painful breakup. And so many people easily fall into this and don't even realize that they have until something down the road exposes that they still have unresolved baggage. And I never want that to be you. See, a lot of us go through that period of grieving that relationship that has ended, right? And our emotions are all, tangled up and we're going through a lot of hurt and we're trying to work through it. But what happens is slowly over time, we start to get there. We start to come back to life a little, right? We start going out there and doing things that we enjoy again. We're starting getting around friends and family and reconnecting and all that, right? We start occupying our time with things that brings us joy, which is what you should do. Even getting in the gym now, right? Even getting back on your game, becoming the best version of yourself. All those awesome things, I love it. But here's the big problem. People get back to living life again and starting to, do things for themselves and starting to make themselves a better person, a better version of themselves and all those things, which is awesome. But they put all of their focus into the busy stuff and never truly heal that inner wound that still needs your help. You're supposed to get back to living life and doing all those things to meet your needs, but you're not supposed to use them as a way of distracting yourself. It's one thing to fill your glass up. It's another thing to fill your glass up, but in a way that distracts you from facing pain that has not been resolved. Because when you do that, what happens is you start to get out of the house more. Maybe your friends are like, yeah, come on, don't sit around moping. Come on, let's go do this. Let's go do that. And you're like, yeah. And you run around and you're doing all the fun things you enjoy. You're bringing joy back to your life and all those things, right? And that's awesome. But all along the way, that pain is still there. And initially, when you start doing these things, the pain is not, gone yet, right? It's still relatively intense, I would assume. But as you keep spending more time around friends and family, you keep getting into the gym more and focusing on your goals and stuff, slowly but surely, you stop thinking about that pain as much, right? The initial sting of it isn't as strong and isn't as intense. And that's a good thing, right? You're healing somewhat. And I say somewhat because it's more so the time, right? Like time heals all analogy, which is actually not accurate. Time does not heal all. It's time can heal all with the proper actions along that time duration. And people start to mistaken true healing for the actual thing that caused pain not being in front of your face for long enough. If someone or something is out of sight or out of mind for long enough, it's easy for the intensity of that pain that you have for them to start to die down because you're not thinking about them or the situation nearly as frequent or as much as you used to. But that doesn't mean the core wound caused by that experience is gone or is healed completely just yet, right? It just means it's not as heightened in your mind to where it's right there and prevalent in real time for you to where you can still function and you're getting back to, be more focused on healthier things. But this is exactly how people feel they've healed and they're ready to move on and they wind up in a new relationship. And then something small happens that triggers that unhealed pain. And they don't know why they reacted so intensely. They're like, wow, I don't know why I was, so emotional about that or why I lashed out the way I did, right? Or I'm extremely defensive now. They've taken on this new habit of, being really guarded and things like that to where they convince themselves this is me being better than I was before and making sure no one else gets a one over on me. But really, it's because there's an unhealed wound. And this is a way of protecting themselves to not have to experience that wound still that's down there screaming for your help to really heal it. So getting back into the gym, focusing on your goals, connecting with friends and family for your support system are essential, and you need those things to start building a healthy foundation around you again. Never let those be the replacement for you spending the time you need to yourself to sit with your emotions and actually process. You need to let those emotions, that pain, breathe. Not to torture yourself, no, but to seek understanding as to what the message in that pain is for you, so you can get to a conclusion on what you need to offer it to bring it to a healed space to release and let it go. Letting it go is how we actually heal. And then it's the life we're building around ourselves to go enjoy our friends and family and getting into the gym and the goals we focus on that makes us much better on top of our healing. And those things aid our healing, but those things can't replace the actual healing. So if you've never stopped and brought a clear final resting place to that pain, that inner pain for yourself, you never really faced it. And if this is you, if you haven't actually done it, you more so made yourself busy and distracted with things that are good for you, like the gym, like, your goals, like your career, like your friends and your family. If you've been doing that, do yourself the service of stopping to take the time to really hatch into that wound, if it's still there needing to be healed, and start to evaluate what you need in order to heal it. The good thing in this is, if you have done that and you've kind of been distracting yourself long enough, you have enough positive energy and momentum going to where when you go back to face this wound, you probably have some new perspectives and more of a calm and more reassuring space that you're in to be able to approach and navigate that pain. But make sure you give it its due diligence to check and make sure it's actually healed the way it needs to be, and what needs to happen to bring that full healing if you have not gotten there yet. If you need help on that journey, I'm always here to help anybody with that for sure. Just reach out to me or DM me coaching and we will get to work. Let's get it.